So today we are going to discuss about dashboard creations, components and best practices of Tableau dashboard. So this is very important topic. So whenever we prepare any visualization or whenever we prepare any worksheet, so we have to put it in the dashboard so that we can present it to the stakeholders. So this is very important because this is the output that we are going to show it to the users. And we need to know how to create a dashboard, and we need to know how to use the components in the dashboard. And dashboard is a collection of several views. So we create, so in the previous sessions, we have seen how to create different views. So let me create a sample view. So I have connected to sample superstore. So earlier we have created like by taking some columns, by taking some sales and measures. So we have created some different varieties of charts. So all these are called worksheets. So these are called worksheets. Let's say this is worksheet 1. And in the other worksheet, I'll create some different. So all these are worksheets. The combination of worksheets or the collection of worksheets is called a dashboard. Collection of worksheets is called a dashboard. So when we are presenting it to the user, we will not give them the access to see the worksheets. So we keep everything in one dashboard and give them the access to this dashboard. So I'll keep this worksheet 1 and worksheet 2 in the dashboard so that I can present it to the user. So user should not go sheet by sheet. Instead of going sheet by sheet, I'll keep everything in one particular dashboard so that he can see whole lot of data. So this way he will be able to see the entire dashboard details. So let's say if I create some 10 sheets, then I will split it into 2 parts. So in one dashboard, I'll keep 5 sheets. In the other dashboard, I'll keep 5 sheets so that I will cover all the worksheets. So instead of going sheet by sheet, so let's say if I want to see bar chart and a pie chart, so user usually has to go to this one and this one. So instead of going like that, we can keep it in a dashboard, all the sheets together. So as per the standards, it has to be, so visually how many sheets that you can keep. So those many sheets you can keep. So let's say in this present scenario, I have kept only 2 sheets. So I can add more sheets like, let's say worksheet 3. I can add more data to this. I'll add it here and make it entire view. Yeah. I'll add one more sheet where I will take subcategory and I'll create a tree map. So this way I'll create this is as worksheet 4. And this I will keep it here. So this way it is visible to all the users so that they can see all the data in one particular dashboard. So let me change this to 100%. Yeah, so this is in presentation mode. So in this presentation mode, if I make it as like this, so that user can see all the 4 different sheets, worksheet 1, worksheet 2, worksheet 3. So he don't have to go to each and every worksheet separately. So at a time he can visualize all the 4 sheets. So this is the normal standard where you can keep, visually we can keep like 4 sheets. If you want to add more sheets like 3, so you can add one more sheet here and you can add one more sheet here. So like that we can keep. So this is about dashboard. The dashboard is actually a collection of several views and letting you compare a variety of data simultaneously. So we are able to compare the data simultaneously. Here we are able to see the customer related sales values, and here we are able to see the category related sales values. So we can see those values and all, and here also we can see subcategory wise sales. So in that way, we are going to cover 4 different varieties of charts in one particular dashboard. And there are a lot of components that are available. And when we are creating the dashboard, so we need to know the purpose and the audience of the dashboard. So you have to know what data needs to be shown to the users. So let me show you one sample data. So this is the data that I've gathered from the internet. So where I've taken the details of state. So these are all our India states that we have, and union territories as well. And here I also have the details of which zone it belongs to, and what is the vehicle code, and what is the capital of that particular state, and what is the area and the population, and what is the GDP for few years. So 2011 to 12, what is the GDP? So till 2019 to 2020, I have the data. So with let's try creating the data from this. I mean, let's try creating the visualizations from this data. So I'll just connect to that Excel file. So this way I can add that particular data. So here if I go into this Excel, so there are 3 tabs I have: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. But in the sheet 2 only I have added this data. So if I connect to that particular Excel, now it is showing me all the 3 tabs. So here what all tabs this Excel has. So all those 3 tabs are getting shown here. So actually I need only sheet 2, not the sheet 1. So in general, what happens is if you have only data in sheet 1, Tableau automatically picks sheet 1 as the by default. But when you have data in multiple sheets, Tableau will not pick it automatically. It will allows us to pick the sheet. So here I have the data in 3 different tabs. Then I will choose which tab to be selected. So here I have selected sheet 2. So now let's go into the data. Okay, now I want to see how many states are there. So this has list of all states and all union territories. So, and I have added one more flag. So where it will say whether it is a union territory or whether it is a state. So this flag will decide, or this flag will let me know what are the union territories and what are the states. If I select on UT, so I will be able to see the union territories. So Jammu and Kashmir, earlier it was a state, and in 2019 it got converted into a union territory. So now we have 28 states. So if I select only state, so it will show us the 28 marks, meaning it has only 28 states. And in union territories, earlier we had 7, but now we have 8. Actually, it is 9. Jammu and Kashmir got divided and split into 2. So it is actually 9. So now let's select state. So now let's see for only 28 states. I want to see the population. So I'll select population. So according to this, I want to identify which are the states which has highest population. So I'll just click on this sorting order. So I can say that Uttar Pradesh is having the highest population. So to identify this, so we have to decide which state has the highest population. So instead of showing it in a tabular manner, so this is what is the same information which are we getting from this table. Same information I can see population and the state name, but Tableau has the capability of showing it in a map. So we can use that option. So let's go to show me and click on this. So it will automatically show you which state has the highest population and all. So you can see Uttar Pradesh is colored with the intensity of Uttar Pradesh color is more when compared to other states. And if you see, these are very less population. And Jammu and Kashmir is not being considered here. Why? Because it is considered as a union territory. If I select union territory as well, so now it will show Jammu and Kashmir as well. So this way we can calculate for population of country. So this way I have created for based on the population, and now I want to create for area based. So let me take state again. So I'm taking state again, and I will take area instead of population. Now I will take area. So this will show me area. So in area wise, we have Rajasthan is in the first place and Madhya Pradesh is in the second place. And if you see, Uttar Pradesh is in the fourth place. But in population wise, Uttar Pradesh has the highest population. So let's do this. So I'm just putting, selecting this. Okay, so if you see, these are the states which have the highest population. So it is almost near to 3 crores. No, 3 lakhs. Yeah, 3 lakh kilometers square. So this is about area of states. So this is population of states. Okay, so now I want to compare these two. So this is population of states and this is area of states. So if I want to compare these two, I need to keep these two worksheets side by side. So to do that, I'll just need to place it in a dashboard. So let's put it in a dashboard. Let's make it in automatic. So automatic, if you use automatic as a size, so it will fit to your screen. So if you are using mobile or if you are using iPad or if you are using any different screens, so every computer will be in a different size. So you will see 14 inches, 21 inches, 20 inches screens will be there. So depending on your screen, it will automatically adjust. So if you take automatic, so it will automatically adjust to your screen. So my screen is of 22 inches, so it is automatically taking that screen size and it is spreading across. Okay, so now let's take population of states and also keep area of states. So here I can compare. So if you see, this has highest population but has less area. And yeah, so there are, so these states have highest area and have less population. So this way I can compare these two. And not only like that, so let's compare. I'll also add one more state, one more. Let me duplicate this. So instead of area, now I want to see based on the GDP. So I'll add GDP of 27 to 2018. Yeah, sorry, 2019 to 2020 is the latest one. So I'll add this in the color. Let me take this. So this has some text values here. So let me remove this. So this is what the problems that you face in real time. So it is actually a number. So GDP is a value that it has to be, but there are some text values. So because of that, you are not able to see it as a number. So even if you see in the Tableau, so it is identifying as a text. So it is showing you as ABC because it is identifying it as a text. So we have to clear these things. So in database also, if you are connecting to Oracle, so you have to clear these things. So it should not be a text value. It has to be a number. So remove those things. We can modify this thing in the Tableau itself. Let me, yeah, I'll show you that in Tableau also. Okay, let's do it in Tableau. Okay, so we have this data 2019, 2020. As this has dash in this, so I'll just replace this with if 2019 if this is equal to, so we have to write a condition. Yeah. Yeah, if this is equal to dash, then null, else this same thing. 2019.20 and so this is 2019 to 2020 GDP without any text values in it. So if you have something which is not correct, so then you can do some modifications in Tableau, or you can do it in the database level also. So this I will convert into number whole. Now I can use this as a number, and I'll convert this as a convert to measure. Then now this is, so it has to be green in color. So measures are always green in color, dimensions are always blue in color. So that we have discussed in the previous sessions. So we have to convert every time you know that it is a measure, then you have to convert into a measure, and then you can use it for all the purposes. So in measures, if it is not a measure, so we cannot use this colors thing. So we have to convert that into a measure. So now I'll place this in the color marks card. Okay, so now I can see this thing, like the intensity of the color will be based on the number, will be based on the value. So now I'll take this GDP of states. GDP of states. So now let's compare. So I have taken population of states, area of states, and now I'll also add the other one, GDP of states. So select container and okay, so let's adjust this accordingly. So okay, let's put it in, yeah, full screen. So here I can see the GDP, and this is about area, and this is about population. So even if the population is more in UP, GDP is lesser compared to other states. So here only the population is more. But if you see the GDP is less compared to rest of the states. GDP is more in Maharashtra. If you compare with the other states, GDP is more. And let's take an example of different states. Let's take Telangana. It has 96 lakhs of GDP, which is around 1 lakh dollars. So, and if you see, the area is much less compared to other states. And even if you take, population is also much less. So this way we can compare 3 different types of. So here we are comparing area, population, and GDP. So this way you can keep multiple worksheets together, and so that you can compare all the worksheets. So now let's see. So there are some dashboard components. So to create any dashboard, so you have to keep dashboard title. So here there is an option to your left bottom. So to your left bottom, there is an option called dashboard title. So designing is most important. So I'm just keeping this dashboard title over here. So by default, it will take the dashboard name which you are writing here. Okay, so I'll write India GDP across states. Align this. And here also we have so many options to layout. Let's say if you want to keep borders, so you can just keep the borders like this. So we have to create the dashboard in such a way that, so they want to see, so we have to design in such a way so that the audience needs to be relevant, the audience needs to look into the data. So let's say in this particular data, I have the state related information. And so PM, let's say a prime minister. So prime minister should be aware of all the states, in the country. So he should be able to know, or he should be knowing about all the states in the country, and he should be knowing about how the states are performing. So he needs entire data. So we will just create on an overall level. So let me take, so I'm just preparing for population. So central level basically. So central level, so they will look into the whole lot of data. So they will look for the population, and they will also look for the GDP, let's say. So GDP, let's put it in a different way of representation. So let's keep this one. So I'm just keeping a tree map for this. So, and I'll also show GDP in text. So this I am creating for the central level people. So centrally, they want, say central Delhi people, like prime minister and home minister of the central. So these people will look into the whole lot of all the states in the country. And now let me create some actions. So I will add filter action and I'll say select. So I want interactive dashboard so that people can click on the worksheet and they should be able to know what data inside of all the worksheets. So if I click on one worksheet, the other worksheet should also respond. I'm just creating this. Okay, so I can see the Maharashtra has some 2 crores or almost 3 crores of GDP. So if I click on, so I want to know how is the population in Maharashtra. So I'll just click on this. See, I can see the Maharashtra population also. So it is around 11 crores. Dashboard actions. So clearing the selection should be show all values. So when I'm removing the filter also, it is still showing the Maharashtra only, but I don't want that. So I want to clear the selection. So if I unselect, I should be able to see all the states. Okay, so now I want to see Uttar Pradesh is having some 19 crores of population, but what is the GDP of Uttar Pradesh? So let's click on this. So I can see the GDP of Uttar Pradesh is around 1 crore. Okay, so this is at a central level. So I'm just creating this dashboard for central people like Prime Minister, for the Home Minister of Central. So I'm just preparing for them. And I want to create something related to state level as well. So when I say state level, in state level, what we will have? We will have Chief Minister and all. So Chief Minister doesn't worried about other states in the country. Like he want to know what is happening inside the state. So he should be worried about his state related information. So as if you are preparing the dashboard for Chief Minister level, then you should be worried about what is his state. So you should be giving access to that relevant data. So in organization, so data is very sensitive, not only in organization, in government also, it is data is very sensitive. So you are not allowed to show, let's say you have Chief Minister of UP. So you are not allowed to show the data of other states to the Chief Minister of UP. So you should be allowing Chief Minister of UP to see only UP related information to UP Chief Minister. You should not be showing the AP or MP related or different states information. You should not show it to the other Chief Minister. So that type of restriction we should give. So now I'll show you. So I'm just trying to create state level information. So I'll just create with the same data only. So I'll just create something related to state level. So let's do. So I'll take one particular state. So I'll just compare, let's say Maharashtra. So I'm just creating this for Maharashtra CM and Maharashtra related higher officials. I'm just creating a dashboard so that they can take action internally in their particular state. So I'll select only Maharashtra. So in Maharashtra, I want to see what is the population. And what is the vehicle code of Maharashtra. And we also have different years of information. So it is a GDP of, so let's take this. Yeah, so it is actually the GDP of all the years. So if you see the Maharashtra, So in the current data, I don't have the information of what are the city names and all those. So if I have that information, I can specifically go. So in next session, I will show you the cities in that particular state. So if I have that data, so I should be able to relate, or I can show the similar fashion, whatever we have created. So we can do that in a similar fashion. So in this particular scenario, I'm just showing the population and just the GDP of the central level. And if I'm preparing for the state level, I should be able to show state level information. So I should show only that particular state information. So here I'm showing the GDP of Maharashtra in all the years. So in 2011-12, so this is the GDP, and 2012-13, this is the GDP. So I'm just focusing on Maharashtra and what is the population and what is the growth that they have made. So if I also have what are the cities in Maharashtra, so I should be focusing on those cities and what is the population, what is the GDP of all the cities in the state. So I can focus on that so that I can give clear instructions to the higher officials that this is lagging in this particular state and this is performing good in that particular state. So this way, according to the audience and depending upon the data, so my output will change. So if I have the same details, so for central level, I will create this type of data. Why? Because central people will be looking at the higher level data. So he should be able to access all the states and what is how the other states are performing. And if you go to the chief minister level, so he should be focusing on one particular state and how the cities are performing and how the growth is happening in individual cities. So he should be more focusing on that. So this way, we have to know your purpose and know your audience. So based on that, even if you have the similar data, so output may be different depending on your audience. So in organization also, you will have like this. So if you are preparing a dashboard at CEO or COO level, so you should not be worried about creating at a deeper level. So let's say, we'll take the same example, the prime minister level. At prime minister level, you should be focusing on the all states. So you should be knowing how all states are performing. So, and he can drill down to lower levels also. So let's say if you select one particular states like Maharashtra and how the cities are performing in Maharashtra, so you can do a deep drill down. But if your audience is like chief minister and all, then you should be more focusing on how that particular state is performing. So state, under the state you will have cities, under the cities you will have postal codes and all. So you should be more focusing on creating the dashboard at this levels. And for the central level, you should be more focusing on a whole level, how all the states are performing and why there is a lag in some particular states. So you should be more focusing on this level. And in organization level also, you should be, if you are preparing something at CEO or COO level, so you have to take higher dimension, higher granular dimensions. And if you are preparing something for like data analysts and BAs, business analysts. So if you are preparing for these people, so they are more keen into the lower granularity also. So they want to start from the higher to lower granular data. Why? Because they want to deep dive into the data to see where it is lagging completely. So they have to have all the data. So if we take the Superstore example, so sample Superstore example, so we have categories and we have subcategories. So let's take category. So these are at higher level, you could say. and how sales is performing. Sales is this much, 754,000 and like this. So these are higher categories. So if you want to show it to the higher level management, you can show this furniture, office supplies, all these are having a similar number of sales. So almost this is 839,000 and this is somewhere it is near. And if you want to deep dive more, so you can show till subcategory level to the higher level management. But if you are showing it to the business analysts and all, so you can show at product level also. So product is a lower level granularity. So here they will focus more and which product is getting sold more. So they will identify that and they will take actions accordingly. So the people who are at higher level, they will not be bothered about the product level information. So they will just worried about how it is performing at category and subcategory level. So these products are belong to some subcategory. So let's say if I take one subcategory. So these way, these many products are considered as subcategories. So they will not be bothered about what each product is getting, how much sales is getting from the each product. So that information and all is not needed at the higher level. So depending on our uh, audience, we'll just prepare the dashboards. And in Tableau, the most used or the most viewed spot is not only in Tableau. So if you take any dashboard or any reporting tool, so if you have a dashboard like this, the most viewed spot is this one, top left corner. Top left corner is the most viewed spot. So whatever sheet that you want to, that you know it is as important, so you try to keep that important chart on the top left. Why? Because so whenever you open any presentation, let's say if you are opening any PowerPoint presentation or any dashboard from any reporting tool, so human brain will go into the top left position. So this is like an analysis that they have done. Psychologically, human brain will automatically go into the top left spot. So whenever you are preparing any dashboard, so it is good to keep that particular important worksheet onto your top left. So now let's go into the dashboard. So now let's see what all components that we can keep in the dashboard. So let me keep it in automatic. So this is basically I have created for India's GDP across different states. And I also showing the population. So I'll just edit here, GDP slash population. Okay, so let's say these are the two worksheets that I have, and I will design it. So designing is not like you need to design like this. So it's not like it depends on person to person. So you can design it in any way. So it has to look good. So I'll just keep borders. So it is my way of representing the data. But depending on your style of visualization, you can do the presentation. So I'll just keep some borders. So if it, so this has to be meeting each other, like, so it has to be consistent. So every border has to be consistent and this distance between sheet to sheet, everything has to be consistent. And how am I doing this? So automatically, so I'm just using a tiled mode. So there are two modes in Tableau, tiled and floating. Tiled and floating. So tiled is automatic. So it will automatically arrange the worksheet that you place in the dashboard. So if you see the borders that are that is consistent, so the size, height and width, everything is consistent. So if you see the height and width of this sheet and this sheet is consistent. So this is because Tableau is automatically arranging this based on the tiled mode. What if you are using floating mode? So let's say I'll do the same dashboard in floating mode. Keep it automatic. So floating is manual. So floating is manual. I'll just show the title. Just say random dashboard. This is floating. Say okay. So I'll just click on floating. So I'll take GDP of state. So you can see I have to manually arrange. So I'll just keep it entire view. So I have to manually arrange this like this. And when I take population of states, so I'll keep the borders like previous. Okay, so now let's put it in presentation mode. Okay, so now it's not consistent. See, the borders are not consistent. So here this is ending at some place and this is starting at some other place. This is not consistent. So I have to manually adjust it accordingly so that it looks neat. Even okay, so there is one manual procedure that is there. So X and Y, width and height. So I need to see what is the width of this 852, 804. I have to use the same width and height. 852, 804 is the width and height of this one for GDP of states. So I'll just use that same 852, 804. And X and Y is nothing but, X is nothing but the distance from the left side. So it is at 17. So 17 units of distance from the left side. Y is nothing but the distance from the top. So starting from here to here, there is a distance of 54 units. And this is at 55 units. So if I change this to 55, 54, so now it will align correctly. So this way we can align these sheets properly. But floating, we should not use it. So floating is so manual, but why this floating option is there? Floating is to keep any icons or some images. If you want to place it in certain place, then we will use floating. Otherwise, it is very easy to use this tiled mode. So in tiled mode, you don't have to do any adjustments and all. So it will automatically take that place. So now I'll keep some worksheets in tiled mode. I'll keep the title. So this is tiled mode. I'll keep it in the center. In tiled mode, I'll take the same sheets, GDP of states. So it is showing me what place to use. Whether I want to use this left one. So it is highlighting. If I go towards right, or whether I want to add it to the entire space. So as it is one sheet, it will take the entire place. Okay, now it has occupied the entire place. If I use another sheet, let's say if I am using population of states or area of states, let's take. So now it is becoming two pieces. Whether you want to keep it in the left, or whether you want to keep it in the right, or whether you want to keep it in the bottom. So how much place it will occupy, it was just highlighting it. So you can see that highlight thing also. So when I'm just hovering, so it is showing me left side. If I hover it on the right side, so that sheet will be placed in the right side. Or if I want to keep it in the bottom, I will put my cursor in the bottom. So that sheet will be placed in the bottom. But I don't want to keep it in the bottom. Let me just place in the left side. Okay, so now it is automatically arranging it. So the height and width will be same as height and width of the GDP. And the distance from top is also equal to whatever is the distance from the top for the GDP. It will be similar to the area of streets. So